little better, a little jazzy, you know, a little warmer. What was that crap I had on over the last 6 episodes? What did it say? Get smart. I don't remember what it said. It was horrible. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Non-negotiables podcast. And welcome to another day, another bright and happy day here in Trumpville. Everything is just turning up roses. I don't know if you guys are still watching the election coverage and what's going on with Sidney Powell and what's his name, Ironwood, whatever his name is. We talked yesterday about how everything is starting to really bubble and come up to the top. People are really figuring this thing out, figuring out that this is a real situation here. And I can't help but smile because, you know, everybody in media just beat their chest. And by media, I'm not just talking about the left-wing media. I'm talking about a little Ben Shapiro, too, who assured everybody that voter fraud adds up to maybe 60 to 120 votes. Meh. And now all of a sudden people are going, whoa, wait a second. This is a thing. This is a real thing. Every day, every morning as I check the media outlets and the news, it's actually become mainstream news, something that's been talked about now for weeks by the deep, dark Q conspiracy theorists, right? Now all of a sudden we've got USPS workers that have come out and signed affidavits and sworn that the statement is true, saying that at least 130,000, maybe even 250,000 votes, ballots, set aside in a trailer, collected by this USPS office, disappeared. Gone. Totally gone. Absolutely gone. Now, they didn't go as far as to detail where these ballots were collected from, what districts, what areas, but I'd bet my right nut, which is my favorite nut, that they came from major Republican hotbeds. My right nut. I don't bet my right nut very, very regularly, but on this one, I'd bet it. You know what? I double down. I bet both. Yeah, so we've got that. What else? The Clark County Registrar. The Clark County Registrar in Nevada. They tried to serve him with a subpoena. He locked the doors to make sure that he couldn't be served. He locked the doors like a little weasel. You gotta wonder why. Why? I mean, Nevada, isn't that one of the people who, one of the governors who said that it was the greatest and most secure election they'd ever had in Nevada? Why is the registrar locking himself into the office to avoid being served with a subpoena? It just doesn't, I don't know. But then again, a mainstream news source picked it up. It's encouraging, folks. It really is. I'm not a sugar and sunshine guy. You guys know. If you've been watching my channels for any length of time, you know I'm not the, bright side kind of guy. I tend to be cup half empty more often than not. Some would call me despair prone, to my everlasting shame. It's true. But I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. The last count of all the whistleblowers, of all the expected fraud to be found, the last count has it at over 1 million ballots. Over 1 million ballots. So, there's the election update. I'm as burned out on it as you are, but I gotta say, it is encouraging. Let me ask you something. Have you heard about this? Sorry about that. So, why are you glitching, babe? There we go. So, have you heard that Donald J. Trump, consummate badass of the Republic, he said, yeah, you guys are working on this defense bill, huh? You're going to put out, oh, this thing is dropping frames. Just can't do it. You know what, guys? You're going to have to take my word for it. You're going to have to take my word for it. I can't show you the links. But anyway, Trump says, yeah, this defense bill is exciting. 700 plus, $billion or whatever it is. And I see you guys have been working diligent on it. And amazing how the war machine can bring Republicans and Democrats together like nothing else. Nothing, not like the opiate crisis. That seems to divide people. Not like, black on black crime. That really divides people. Almost as much as transgender 8-year-olds divides the haves. But, war spending sure as hell moves the needle, brings people close. It's a unifying thing. And so Donald Trump decided he was going to go ahead and jab his thumb right into the eye of the war machine. And as the Democrats and Republicans are getting ready and finalizing their negotiations on the new defense budget, he says, just a heads up, people, if you don't include the absolute abolishing, the C-sectioning, if you will, of Section 230 of the communications bill, I'm going to veto. Now, again, defense spending is the great unifier, right? Congress is going to have a veto-proof majority on the bill, almost without a doubt. And so you got to wonder, why do it? Why do it? Why threaten to veto? Why put yourself in a position to be called, all kinds of names, to be, you got Democrats out there talking about how Trump is refusing to sign the defense bill, and he's going to harm our country because, well, his ego is hurt. He's mad at Twitter, they say. He's mad at Twitter, and so he's going to, veto the defense bill. It's not that simple. And one of the great things about this guy is that there's always something playing in the background. If you ask 90% of the people, just in the general public, what is Section 230, they have no idea. They have no clue. People have kept it out of the news cycle. It's been talked about in all these hearings with Lindsey Graham, the fist-bumping Kamala lover. It's been all over that circle of people, the real wonks. But the average person has no idea what Section 230 is. They have no idea that our tech companies have absolute freedom to censor whomever, whenever. They have no clue. They don't realize that every bit of information that comes to them is being curated by these companies. That the main driving force on what they feed you as far as information is based on what will enrage you most of all. What can I show you, tell you, share with you that is going to piss you off? Because pissed off people stay on the platform longer. They chat more, they interact more, they get into fights. You ever wonder why it is that your Instagram feed, if you're, into politics and into fighting the left, or if you're a lefty fighting the right, you ever wonder why your Instagram feed, your YouTube video suggestions, you ever wonder why there are no puppy dog, look how cute my puppy dog is videos? Does it ever make you wonder that every single thing Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is suggesting for me to look at, Twitter, every single thing is something that's going to piss me off or confirm my bias? Now, understand, I watch everything. I think I mentioned him here last time. I watched the Kyle Kalinske. I watched. I'm subscribed to the Young Turks. I watch their videos, but I have to seek them out. YouTube has figured out, and Google has figured out, that this guy is a right winger. So I'm gonna feed him a video from a guy that he may be subscribed to, that he doesn't watch. He subscribed to on a whim once. I'll keep putting him in his feed because he's a rage-inducing character. And even though he's subscribed to Secular Talk and the Young Turks, I won't suggest it. Well, that's why. That's why they live to just piss you off. So most people don't understand that. They don't understand that big tech is curating everything they see. They are deleting and suppressing information that helps one party over another, namely the Republicans. Anything that would be helpful to Trump is gone. Hey, I got people, family, friends that I talked to. I was hanging out with someone this weekend who had no idea that the Hunter Biden thing even happened. No idea. I said, well, like what the, Hunter Biden, the media didn't even talk about it. And he goes, Hunter who? Didn't even make the connection that the last name of the one I'm talking about is Biden, that there was something to do with a Biden thing here. Didn't even make the connection, which means they hadn't even heard that Joe Biden has a son named Hunter. I mean, to that extent. I said, how do you not know this? I mean, there are thousands of videos about it on YouTube. There are countless tweets about it on Twitter. They hadn't seen it, they hadn't heard it. So they don't realize that they are being kept in the dark, that they are blinded by big tech. And the reason they can be is because of this Section 230. But now, this is a biggie. This is a biggie. The left-wing media, they love to beat their chest, right? And Don Lemon loves to get out there and say, if Trump wins, then we burn it all down. Of course, the only burning Don Lemon knows about is the herpes outbreak that is consuming his rectum. Beyond that, he has no idea what real burning is. They love to paint themselves as radicals, and there's nothing radical about them. They're butter soft and emotional and pathetic in so many ways. But we know how to burn it down. And our commander-in-chief sure does know how to burn it down as well. See, this whole veto thing, even though it will be overridden, even though Congress he'll veto it, Congress will get it back, they'll get the 60 vote majority or whatever the majority needs to be to go ahead and override the veto, and they'll override the veto. And the left-wing media, in all their stupidity, will scream from the top of their lungs, for the first time in history, the first time in this Trump administration, something has only happened 8 times in American history, or however many times it is. The Congress has overridden a presidential veto. Every single media outlet is going to be screaming about it. And then people will hear about Section 230. Then the eyes will be open, or at least more eyes will be open. Then there'll be a real outcry. Hey, you've basically anointed gods over us with this big tech people. You have anointed arbiters of truth, reality. You have put the the what do they call her in Athens? The oracle. You have placed an oracle up high on Mount whatever to speak down onto us what is true, the unfiltered truth as decided on by Mark Zuckerberg, the freaking android, by what's his name from Twitter, Jack Dorsey. So why do this? Why have this fight, especially on a defense bill, right? Trump is the military guy. He loves the military. He backs up the military. He's the guy that poured real money into our military to make it self-sustaining, to make it robust, and the envy of every other military worldwide. Why pick this vehicle? Well, because it's the last big vehicle, right? This is the Hummer, the last Hummer in the garage. All the other bills coming his way are just little things that wouldn't be a blip on the radar. So in truth, it's the last chance. You know, maybe one other bill is floating out there, but this is the biggie. And getting his veto overridden is going to be actually really, really good. Really, really good. So I thought I'd share with you that bit of news, and I really need to show you guys this picture. So what I'm going to do, well, I'll flash it on the screen. How about that? And then you guys can take it. But I'm losing frames like crazy here. All right. I want you to take a look at these 6 rhinos. All right. These 6 rhinos. You've got Susan Collins over here. She's the one that consistently and persistently votes against Trump and anything that is conservative or right-wing. She is truly and unequivocally the biggest rhino of the bunch. Was the next guy Cornyn or whatever? I don't know. I don't remember which one of these is Cornyn. Then the other one is Tillis. You've got Marco Rubio over here, the third one on top, on opposite to Susan Collins. Marco Rubio is from Florida. He was the next hot thing. He was super conservative. His dad was from socialist Cuba, so you know we could count on him to fight against the machine. He makes up one of 6, along with Collins. Down there is Mario Ballard. We'll talk about him in a second. He makes up one of 6 Republicans, quote unquote, that are going to work with Democrats, Schumer among them, to find a road to amnesty. Yes, that's right, amnesty. The Republican Party is still talking amnesty. I'll get into more of that in a second. And then down here in the middle between these 2 flakes is Mario Diaz-Balart. And I actually knew the guy who funded his race when he first got into politics. A big money guy from South Florida. And he supported all of the Ballards. And I have it on really, really good authority that he's a Peter Puffer. Now, I don't know. Maybe I got bad information. I don't want to be sued. Not that they'd get anything. But he's a closeted homo. Not that there's anything wrong with that, other than being closeted, right? Just sneaky, snaky. He's in Congress based on his Republican supposed credentials. And now here he is going behind everybody's back. Going behind the back, right? It's a thing. To go ahead and try to slip in amnesty. Now, jokes aside, amnesty should not be a word in the Republican lexicon anymore. We should not consider it, talk about it. I think Trump has proven that the Republican Party has no desire for amnesty. Build the Wall was quite possibly the most powerful and greatest chant, the greatest philosophical idea and actual idea that the Republicans had come up with in, what, a generation? The plus 80 Democrat county that is closest to Mexico and Texas voted overwhelmingly for Trump. He picked up 60% more votes than the last time a Republican ran for president in that county. This is a border city. Something insane, like 75% Hispanic, mostly Mexican, and they voted overwhelmingly for the Republican. Blacks in this country are waking up, and they're realizing that, as if these Mexicans keep getting poured into our country and they keep settling in our inner cities, we American blacks, American Hispanics, we have no access to jobs. They gobble up jobs. They gobble up resources. They drive up rents and the cost of living. So you actually have minorities supporting Republicans just on the immigration issue. And these 6 pricks are going to come along and start talking amnesty? We had a lot of talk about amnesty right around the time the Tea Party came on the scene. We don't want it. Amnesty is not a winner for Republicans. You see, these guys, they're not conservatives. They're rhinos. They're the ones that consistently, over and over again, come out against Trump, against the truly conservative policies that are being laid out. And now that it looks like Trump might be out of office, they're right back to their old tricks. They're jumping in with both feet, and they keep talking about 11 million. They say 11 million illegals, we need to bring them out of the shadows. It's closer to 30 million. That 11 million number is some pie in the sky, wishful thinking number. That's not what it is. Ann Coulter did a really good job. She put it in a book. She did the research and wrote a book about it. The number is closer to 30 million illegals in this country. And thank God that the wall went up. Thank God that illegal border crossings are down more than 80%. If not, God knows where we'd be. But now here we are. Biden has even suggested he'd be interested in taking down the wall. He's talking about reversing the law that says that people waiting for acceptance, asylum in this country, the law that Trump worked out where they have to stay in Mexico while they wait for their papers to be processed, Biden says he's going to get rid of that. He's going to allow people to wait in this country while their papers are processed. In other words, they'd be gone. They'd move into the interior of the country and we'd never see them again. That number will hit 50 million by the end of his first term. He'll gut the border. He wants to increase refugees from Syria and in the Middle East and Turkey. He wants to increase that by 700%. 700%. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of these Syrian refugees and others coming into this country. It's not working out for France. At least not for certain teachers in France who are currently headless. We have to have an immigration policy that matches our values, he says. Well, for the Republican Party, for Republican voters, our values are America first. That's just the way it is. That's the way it's going to be from now on. We got actual people who really see a difference now, and they don't like the old guard. So, wanted to show you that. I wanted to show you the picture. I wish I could leave it up here so you guys can really soak in their faces. Just go ahead and screen grab the shot of it from when I flashed it up there, but got to work something out with this computer. But those are 6 people that need to be voted out of office. They need to be primary. I can do what I can do with Mario and with Marco Rubio here in Florida. And you guys in Texas, there's a couple of people there from Texas. Susan Collins, wherever the hell she's from. Let's be done with them. Let's be done with them. If Susan Collins wins her next primary, let's let the Democrat win. 0 votes for Susan Collins. Worst showing in history. Let's make her go down in history as the Republican candidate who got the fewest votes ever. I mean, honestly, let's take a look at where things are. The media, the government, the alphabet soup tech companies, the alphabet soup law enforcement agencies, every single one of them, every one is against us, by and large. We always put the caveat, oh, but there are good people there, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter that there are some good people there. If we're going to have all those people against us, yes, we can have a revolution. Yes, we can go charge in the street. I just increased the arsenal at my house by another pistol, and by the end of the year, should pick up a couple more. We can do all of that. We can arm ourselves and whatnot. Or, if we're going to stop short of that, let's not let these sick rhino bags of pus have any power anymore. If they're going to steal the elections anyway, if they're going to trash our democracy anyway, at the very least, the least we can do is strip them of their power, send a message. We're not Democrats. We're not just going to vote D because we hate orange people or whatever the motivation is. As far as I'm concerned, I have a singular mission in life right now. And that's to ensure that Ballard and Peep Squeak, freaking puppet head, what's his name, Marco Rubio, that they're out of politics. Their life of political, their political life is over. And if it's within my power, that's what I want to do. I'll talk against them. I'll go to their next speech and protest. Whatever it is that I can do, I want to do. But this, I mean, the guy, Trump's not even out of office yet, and they're already reverting. They're reverting back to their old establishment ways. It's sick, and it's disheartening, and it's upsetting. All right, what's going on over here in the chat? Hey, Johnny, message retracted. Why, bro? Did you cuss or something? I doubt it. Johnny doesn't cuss. He's a good man. And Jenna, hi Jenna, late to the party. That's all right. I've got the DVR setting set up on the channel, so you can always rewind. Anyways, well, that's it. I mean, I just wanted to let you guys know where we're at today. Some of these podcasts are going to be real hitters, and some of them are going to be pretty subdued. The point is to do it every day, every single day, and build the community here that we need. That we need. And with any luck, 230 will be repealed, and we'll actually be able to do great things. Got another chat here. GlitterX Milk. Hey guys, Glitter. I'm sorry, but I'm leaving. And we'll catch you all tomorrow. Remember to share the channel, share the videos. We got to hit our goal of 1,000 subscribers. We should do a podcast on how to avoid vaccines. Oh, well, actually, I can tell you pretty quickly. Now, the great thing about living in Miami, and I don't know how it is where you're at, but in Miami, things like antibiotics, things like low-grade pharmaceuticals, you can just buy them without a prescription. Now, technically you can't because it's illegal, but you can, right? There's little mom and pop pharmacies, and you walk in and you don't want to go see the doctor because you know you got strep throat or you got you're not feeling quite right. So you go into one of these Cuban pharmacies in Little Havana, and you say, look, I need a Z-Pack, and they charge you $8 or $10, and you get a Z-Pack. Now, technically, you shouldn't be able to do that. Fact is, it's a very legal thing, but in South Florida, you get away with that kind of stuff. Nothing hard. You're not going to walk in there and walk out with a bucket of Percocets or anything, but these little things, they happen. Anyway, so vaccines. Those pharmacies are able to operate in that way because there is the same thing on the other side, on the doctor side. A bunch of Cuban expat doctors that came over to the U.S. They've got their old Cuban sort of get her done kind of ways, and they passed their boards and they became doctors here. And these doctors are also sort of flexible. They look at these regulations as suggestions more than regulations. So you ask me, how do I avoid vaccines? Well, I'll tell you how we do it here in South Florida. First of all, I don't think Florida is going to mandate jack, right? I don't think so. I think Florida is officially the freest state in the union. I think they took that title from Texas. Yeah, maybe Montana, North Dakota, these kind of places, they're probably freer just because there's nobody there and nobody to tell you nothing. But Florida, as far as a big state, highly populated with huge cities, nothing touches Florida. As a matter of fact, Ron DeSantis is in talks to turn the state into an open carry state, so you can just carry your gun on your belt, visible to everyone. So it gives you some sort of idea about it. So what I'm going to do, should I need, for example, to fly to New York to see family, and New York has an order, you can't come in unless you have a vaccine taken. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to Dr. Pepe, not his real name, by the way, and just like when I need a note for school, or just like when you need a physical to play football, and he faxes you the physical so you don't have to come in, that you're in top shape. Dr. Pepe is going to give me a check off that I took the vaccine, and that's how we're going to do it. At least South Floridians are going to do it that way. And New York can blow me, and we're just going to go on our merry way. See, that's the thing, That's the thing that Cubans, if you have Cubans in your life, you can ask them. They'll tell you. Authoritarians don't garner respect and obedience. Authoritarians inspire cheating. Authoritarians and socialist governments inspire creative tomfoolery. See, the will to be free. The human condition is such that you need to be free. Your soul screams for freedom. And if you think about it, you're made in the image of God. Talk about a truly free being. A truly free being that speaks the entire universe and every atom into existence through the sheer power of his will. Talk about free. And so you have an uncontrollable need to be free. And so when you have a free country, that plays itself out in industry and tech and creativity and entrepreneurship and the greatest, fastest, most amazing growth and expansion of a civilization in the history of all mankind. But when you've got an authoritarian on your neck and you're limited and you're confined, even if your daily bread is provided for, your need to be free is going to coax you into finding ways to do your own thing, to usurp the rules, to short circuit the oversight, so that you can feel like you controlled something, you did something by your own will, in your own way. It's like a rebellious child. The most fun girls to go out with when I was a young man were the daughters of extremely strict parents. Home by 10. Call me every half hour in the hour. I want to meet everybody you know. All your friends' phone numbers. All that. Those girls, in those little half-hour segments of no oversight, they were fun. They were fun. Nobody can pack that much fun, as much fun in a half-hour segment as the daughter of an overly strict father. The things that can be accomplished when the choked, over-disciplined subject of an authoritarian squeezes out, is able to catch a little breath. The extent to which the human will go to exert his or her will when another set of humans is trying to subvert or suppress it, it's immeasurable. And so, how do we get around vaccines? I have full and utter and total confidence that we will. I don't know what it looks like for you, but I know you will. I know you will. I know that if it is your will not to take it, and unless a group of extremely strong bodybuilder types in lab coats hold you down and administer it by force, you will find a way, as will countless millions in this nation. Therefore, making the vaccine utterly useless and whatever. And I'll leave with this, but there's one thing that the founders understood really, really well. And it guided their entire process in creating this, the greatest nation God has ever inspired. They understood the human condition. They understood the incredible just the immeasurable ability of human beings to be truly evil and unbelievably good. And they understood that each person could decide to be either one at any time. Either one at any time. On a whim, motivated by fear, motivated by greed. Because even greed, I am good to my clients. In my day-to-day job, I am good. I am a great salesman. And I am fantastic at caring for my clients. They can call me at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I will answer the phone on a Sunday. I don't love them. I have a family to feed. So I can be just a sweetheart of a guy, treat people with what they could easily construe as love because there's a need. You can call it greed. Anyway, you guys know this. But the founding fathers knew this. And they knew it really, really well. And so what they built was checks and balances. They built a system where you are free, truly free. And that way, if you and I are both free, I'm a natural check on what you want to do. There is no utopian leader coming. Bernie Sanders is not a god with all the answers. There is no way to have central control of anything because human beings are totally different. And so the founding fathers really got that. And then they built this decentralized system where we can check each other. But the only way to do it is with true freedom. I don't know. I got off on a tangent there. Glitters in Texas. Yes, it sounds like a great idea. I will have to definitely look into this. I'm sure I can find a doctor like that in Houston. I hope so. Yes, me and my kids, I do not want any part of this poison. Me either. I think from the moment they told me that there was something called luciferon in it, I said, you can keep it. All right. No more preachiness. I'm out of here. I'm going to go have some dinner with the family. I really appreciate you guys being here and chatting and hanging out. And yeah, as per usual, share the stream. And let's do it again tomorrow. I'll catch you all in the next one.